Okay, so now we get to the pre-launch, or as we like to say, call it the pre-pre. And as the name implies, this happens before your pre-launch even starts. This is really under the radar before anyone even knows what's going on. I mean, generally, people don't have a hint that what you're really leading into. This is where you, basically in the pre-pre, this is where you really identify your product and your offer. You identify, actually, I take that back. You don't identify your product and offer. Often you finalize the product and the offer. You're getting some final feedback on what your product and offer is. You use the pre-pre to identify objections, to gather testimonials. I've got to really wait until you see the testimonial cruncher. It's absolutely awesome. Use it to warm your list. You might even start attracting partners. And it's about starting to build buzz ahead of the launch. This is where you lay the groundwork for your launch. Now, we usually start off with what I call the shot across the bow. This is an old naval term, and it would be like if one Navy ship is chasing down another ship, or maybe it's a Coast Guard ship chasing down a boat, they would often fire a shot in front of the other boat, land a shot in the water just to warn them that something's coming. So I like to call this the shot across the bow. Now, the essence of the pre-pre is that you're letting your market know that something is coming, but you're not actually trying to sell them. In fact, a big part of your message is that the product is not quite ready yet. So, I mean, if the product's not even ready yet, you can't actually be selling them, right? So you remember that BS detector that we talked about when I taught you about the sideways sales letter. And the thing is the BS detector, there's that red zone. You want to avoid that red zone. And when you're in the pre-pre, and you'll see that it's very easy to avoid that red zone in the pre-pre because you're not actually even selling anything to anyone. And when you start off with that BS detector in the safe zone, it's easier to keep it in that safe zone. When there's no hint of a pitch, and you tell people that something's coming, and you're really excited about it, it's like you might come out and say, hey, we've been working on this thing for years, we're so excited, I can't wait to bring it to you. Can you just help us out by filling out this survey before we release this? And that is a lot friendlier than something like, hey, we've been working on this thing for years, I'm really excited about it, and please buy it from me, give me your money. So it's a lot softer and gentler to just often go out and ask for feedback in the market. And that's usually the essence of the pre-pre. Okay, so let's talk about the characteristics of buzz, because every market is different with buzz. Some markets are more email-centric, some markets are more forum-centric, some markets are more social media or even live event-centric. Every market is different, and your market will be different from mine. In the internet marketing world, in the world where you teach people about building online businesses, that's the market that I primarily sell into now. Has always been that way, but that's the market I'm in right now. And in that market, it's a very connected market. And everyone is on multiple lists. Everyone is on everyone's list. People go to forums. They all do social media. It's a very social media-centric market where everyone's got a social media presence, and most of them are publishing via social media. They're all on Twitter. They're all on Facebook. It's a super connected market, so I need to take that into account when I'm doing my pre-launch. Your market may vary. Buzz travels most easily through channels that have trust and authenticity. People are not interested in going out in general. They're not interested in sharing your advertising, or if you're trying to sell them, they're not going to go and tell their buddies about your sales. They're not going to tell your buddies about your marketing. So it comes to really creating value and being very, very interactive and being authentic. The more authentic you are and the more you communicate in these authentic channels that have trust, the quicker the buzz is going to spread. I like to always hit multiple modalities in my pre-launch. I like to let people know that something's coming. I love, if I can get on stage and speak on stage somewhere, if I can do some interviews, maybe I drop a hint via email, maybe I drop a hint via social media. Usually I try to, leave a trail of breadcrumbs for people to follow. Because some people are going to be paying closer attention, and those are the people you want to reach and start having them spread the buzz. I like to think of this in terms of concentric circles here. So here we have, product launch formulas at the center. So maybe it's my business, me and my team right in the middle, okay? So I'm the center of the universe, right? You're the center of your universe. So when I go out there, in terms of influence, the closest people I've got are my owners, my PLF owners. In fact, let me make this a big O. It's one of the rules in my business is when we don't talk about clients, we don't talk about customers, we talk about our owners. And when we talk about our owners, this is one of the very few rules I have in my companies, you always have to capitalize the word owners. Big O with owners when we're writing about our owners. In any case, my PLF owners are the people that I have the closest, the tightest connection with. They've been through my training, they love the training, they've gotten good results. They generally have great affinity to me. I love them. So we have this great thing going with the owners. So usually my first hint, my first shot across the bow that something's coming will often go out to my owners. I've got my owners on an email list. I've got my owners are all in the PLF portal. So I'll drop a hint that something is coming in the portal. Now, beyond that, the next level is often, for me, it's my joint venture partners, my JVs. So this is only going to be if I'm in a JV launch, but I'll let them know that something's coming. And when I let them know that something's coming, they often start going out, and they might start tweeting about it or starting to create blog posts about it, and they'll help start, create some of the buzz. The next level beyond that is my social media following. So even though, in general, I consider an email list far more powerful than social media, and I've got much bigger email lists. The people that are following me via social media, not all of them, a lot of them just absolutely don't care, but my most rabid followers and fans are following me via social media. They'll also be on my email list, but they're going to be following me via social media. And social media is inherently very shareable. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? So I'll often drop some hints in social media. And so in terms of concentric circles, owners are the closest for me, JVs are the next closest, social media is after that. Then comes my list, my prospect list. Okay, so I'll often drop a hint out to them. And then we get beyond that, and we get to the people on my JVs list. So, and then beyond that is the market in general. So everyone in the market who, maybe if I'm teaching about online marketing, they aren't on my JVs list, they aren't on my list, they aren't following me, they don't even know about me, but they're in the overall market. And then, here's the whole rest of the world, probably not even interested in marketing or business or anything like that. So when I am going into pre-pre, I'm mostly going to focus, for right here on owners. I'm going to focus on social media. I'll drop some hints to JVs, not necessarily expect to get a ton out of that, and then I'll hit something on my list. I'm not going out to my JVs list. But what I'm hoping is that some of these owners, they'll start to buzz and they'll start to bring some influence out into here, into the social media area. And then some of these social media people, they might to start to buzz and they might to, start to create some low-lying discussion about what's going on with my upcoming launch. And you always have to think of who you influence, and the people that are closest to you, the people in these inner rings are the people that not only are going to be most interested in what you have to share, but they're going to be the most interested in actually going out and sharing it. Now, one of the things is people like to support that which they help create. This is a key principle. People like to support that which they help create. So if they give you some feedback, if I go out to my people, to my followers here and say, hey, I'm almost done with this product, but I want to make sure I cover everything in this product. Can you tell me what your number one question is about growing a list, about learning how to play rhythm guitar, about how to build your massage practice, whatever you are in. If you go out and ask people for feedback and what they need to learn to really help change their lives, then by giving you feedback, you've enlisted them in the cause. They are now part of the creation, and people like to support that which they help create. So if they feel like they're helping you create the product, they're going to be more inclined to tell people about what you're doing, to talk about to you, to rush to your defense if anyone's saying bad things about you, and then eventually to get involved in your whole pre-launch process, and then maybe even buy your product. So getting that feedback early on is really, really important. A little mystery in your pre-pre, a little mystery goes a long way. A lot of times I'll try to structure my pre-launch so I'm dropping breadcrumbs here and there, and people try to piece it together. And once they piece it together, then it's almost like a scavenger hunt. And once they start to put the pieces together, they love to tell others about it. They love having the feeling they've got some insider knowledge. But having insider knowledge is only great if you can actually go and share it with someone. So people are going to feel great about connecting the breadcrumbs together, and now they've got a secret, and then they want to go out and share it. If you can string those breadcrumbs together and create a little mystery, it can go a long ways towards creating, getting the buzz really moving in your launch, in your pre-pre. I like to think about, like in Malcolm Gladwell's book, he taught The Tipping Point. He talked about mavens and connectors. And mavens are people that just love to collect data and information. They like to become expert. Connectors are people that they know lots and lots and lots of other people. They have big followings in social media. A lot of people that you do see publishing very actively in social media, they are connectors. They really enjoy being connectors. So those mavens and connectors are people that I'm trying to get hooked into my pre-pre and get them excited. I also think about persons of influence within my market or niche when I'm sort of in this pre-pre. Who can I, who has a real influence? Who is, these days almost everyone's a publisher. So who's got the real influence? Who publishes via blogs or social media? How can I get them involved in my pre-pre? How can I turn them into champions? And, and sort of leave some breadcrumbs for them, or maybe it's more overt with them. People love to know a secret. People love scarce information. If they have scarce information, they love to tell other people about it. And that all helps to build the buzz. Now, I know I'm being like 30,000 foot level on this, but we're about to drill down really deep. I've got some examples for you in the next few videos. You'll see how I've done this, how I've used the pre-launch in my launches and how effective they've been. You'll see how I've done it in a variety of ways and gotten different effects from it. So let's get to the examples of the pre-pre.